Hey, my name is Dan Painter and I am the campus pastor at Pointe, Plainfield. Thanks for stopping by and checking out our website. My wife Sarah and I have been married for 14 years. We have 4 boys and we've had the joy of serving as a part of Grace Pointe for the last 16 years, the last 2 of those at Pointe, Plainfield. After the resurrection, Jesus gave what we know as the Great Commission to the disciples, which can really be summarized with the word go. We believe that is the calling of every Christian, it's the calling of the church. The church doesn't exist to meet on a Sunday morning. We exist to go to the world to share the good news of Jesus Christ with everyone. One of the places we go to here in our own community is this nursing home where we get to serve the residents and those who care for them and to show them the love of Christ on a consistent basis. One of the other places that God has provided the opportunity for us to go in our community is in some of our local schools, where we've been able to start building and developing relationships with students, providing help and support for families in need, and encouragement and support for our local teachers and administrators. So we're called to go out into our community, but we also like to invite people into our community as well through events like Christmas Caring. So that's what we do. Let's talk about how we help each other to live that out. There are really 4 key core values that shape the way that we function together as a community. Go to grow, pray at all times, love shapes character, and the Word is the filter. Go to grow means we believe that growth doesn't happen just by gaining more knowledge or gaining more information. It's about taking the truth that we learn and applying it to our lives. James 1:22 says, "Don't just be hearers of the Word and so deceive yourselves, but be doers of the Word also." And so growth happens only as we take the truth and we live it out. Pray at all times is rooted in Paul's command in Ephesians chapter 6, where we're to be praying at all times in the Spirit with all prayers and all supplication. In other words, Paul is saying, pray like you breathe, pray like you can't live without it, because the truth is we can't live without it. We as a church are primarily a spiritual community, which means we live and thrive as we walk in relationship with God, and that is what prayer is really all about. Love shapes character means that God's love is meant to radically shape the way that we live our lives. Jesus tells us that the way the world will know that we're His disciples is that we love one another. And in 1 John chapter 4, we're told that the way we actually are able to love is because He first loved us. In other words, the more that we live in His love, the more His love will flow out of our lives so that we're radically loving those around us. The Word is the filter means that God's Word, the Bible, is ultimately that through which we are able to see and understand everything else. Think of it like having blurry vision and putting on glasses. And suddenly you're able to see things that you weren't able to see before, things that were unclear suddenly get brought into focus. That's what God's Word does. It helps us to be able to see life as it was meant to be. It helps us to see the truth in a world full of lies. And because of that, it enables us to live in ways that we would never be able to live otherwise. So God's Word is our filter. It's at the very foundation of everything that we do, everything that we teach here at Grace Pointe. That's true of all of our ministries, but especially when we gather together for our weekly services on Sunday morning. We come together to worship, sing, praise to God. We spend time in prayer, but we also spend time studying God's Word, learning practical truths for everyday life. And right afterwards, we have our equipping hour where we get together with people of our similar age groups to discuss what we've learned together. And we're family friendly too. We have things for our kids on Sunday mornings, for our Jesus Kids program from infant through 5th grade, our youth program, which meets during our equipping hour from 6th grade through 12th grade. And outside of Sunday morning, we have Awana. During the summer, we have VBS, we have men's ministry, women's ministry, our life groups, and many other ways for you to get connected and involved here at Grace Pointe. At the end of the day, Grace Pointe is a community of regular people who are seeking to follow Jesus, loving others because we have been radically loved by God. So come out and join us this Sunday, 9 a.m. at the corner of Route 30 and 143rd, right behind Family Video. We look forward to seeing you soon.